RT? Yeah, sorry, I can't. Well, this is turning a club that's lived in the shadows of the European elite for many years suddenly into a new stratosphere. You know, a club that's never won a FIFA Club World Cup, a Champions League title, has managed to attract one of the biggest names in football from one of the biggest clubs in football, one with a reputation that far exceeds PSG, with a track record of success and glamour. But this is a sign how money in the global game can quickly become a way of a club rising up the ranks of football.
So for Neymar.
Dis-moi, tu peux... Par qui? Monsieur le Président. Ici, merci. Neymar, s'il vous plaît.
He's leaving a club where he's almost guaranteed to win some of the major honours for a club where it's less certain internationally. What he can do there at Paris Saint-Germain is be the star. At Barcelona, he's in the shadow of Lionel Messi, who's won the FIFA Player of the Year many times. Here is his best chance, perhaps, of winning that top individual honour in world football for himself. And also, in the year when we build up to the World Cup, it's a chance to really make his own mark on the international stage without sort of being surrounded by Lionel Messi, who's one of the greats of all time. The strikers, the goal scorers, overrides often the urgency to reinforce at the back in defence and in goal. It's all chasing those the big glamorous awards which always go to the forwards, the Ballon d'Or, the Player of the Year awards, and it perhaps that PSG has been sort of seduced by that sort of sense rather than the less glamorous players that you might need as the sort of mainstays of the teams to really shore up a defence so you don't get humiliating defeats like the one to Barcelona last season. But the big things Neymar is going to face here is that even at Monaco, the champions, he's not going to face a big crowd, and it's keeping that motivation going, ready for the Champions League to prove himself on the big stage that he's really going to have to work on. Although one advantage of the less competitive domestic competition is it's going to be less gruelling, less on his body, and he's perhaps will be able to exert himself less, and he can save himself for the Champions League. And maybe when he gets to the World Cup in Russia next year, then he's going to be fit and fresh, whereas a lot of players who've played at the top in Spain and in England are sort of often exhausted by the time it comes to reaching the World Cup.
In terms of